Hi, my name is Russell Jarzynski, and I chose to do my human factors analysis on alarm clocks and how they have evolved with the development in technology. Alarm clocks are things that everyone has used to wake up in the morning before. Alarm clocks tend to have mixed feelings revolving around them because everybody knows that they're a necessity, but they're viewed negatively and strongly disliked. They're often so disliked that when people think that they hear their alarm clock out in a public setting, they can report feeling a sense of anxiety. So first I want to give a brief view of the history of alarm clocks. Alarm clocks came about due to the expanding urban and industrial world. Before alarm clocks were commonplace, people would hire knocker-uppers, which was a job where people would wake others up and would use various tools to bang on doors and windows to wake those inside. The modern concept of an alarm clock was first developed in 1847. In the late 1800s, people began to become much more obligated to have more of a sense of time and would be required to show up to work at a specific time, so alarm clocks started to become more common within homes. In the 1920s, alarm clocks had spread so much that the occupation of knocker-uppers was starting to fade completely. Within World War II, alarm clocks had to move away from typical metals to use other types of materials such as wood or cardboard. Around this time is when James Reynolds and Paul Schroth invented the first clock radio. This is the first idea that led to the modern alarm clocks that we have today, but they function completely differently. Reynolds' grandson reported that his granddad created the clock radio because the alarm quit working on his wind-up clock, so he rigged the key at the back of the clock to turn the volume knob on the radio. When the alarm started going off, the key would spin around and the volume would turn up on the radio. Here's a modern alarm clock. The video shows the user disabling an alarm and giving a short brief overview of the device.
It's a photograph. So, this is my alarm clock, and if ergonomics was involved in the design of this, changing the alarm would be very easy. However, it's not. I have to press the volume button. No, see, I've even got it. That turns it on. Then I press the mode button to tell me I want the alarm. Then I have to press the volume button again. No, you see, I got it wrong again. This is how difficult it is. I press the mode button. No, I press the volume button. Then I press the mode button. Then I press the tune scroll button and it tells me alarm 1. I press that again. Why? It tells me it's on. If I want to switch it off, I use the tune scroll to twist it. It changes it. I have to press the tune scroll button again to keep scrolling through the options for the alarm. Once it's saved, I can then go into the second alarm so my wife can wake up. I'll just turn that down a bit because you don't want to hear that. Volume's quite easy. And then we have to keep scrolling through those things then. And if I was to change it at any point, I have to go through all the options before it tells me it's saved. And only then can I switch it off. Otherwise, it reverts back to what it was before. It took me around 3 months to figure out how to use this thing, and that included me reading the instructions. The whole thing's bonkers. If ergonomics was used by Sandstrom, then my life would have been a lot easier, and I would have woken up when I wanted to.
So this video does a fantastic job at
Thank you
showing
very
what
much.
should not be done when designing a modern alarm clock. While the buttons are easy to find and right in front, they are confusing and not intuitive to what they exactly do. Design plays an important role and needs to be simple to people who are just waking up from a night's sleep and are able to operate a clock. While some features may be simple to use, such as adjusting the volume, You have to press multiple buttons in order to change settings for the alarms to go off. While it isn't displayed in the video, I'm sure that changing just the display time itself is also a hassle to get through. Human Factors Design Considerations of Alarm Clocks was a research paper by Raymond Lim and Michael Wohlgalter. This was published in 2002, so it's slightly dated. There has not been much research on alarm clocks, and there's close to none on modern style alarm clocks, so this is kind of the best there is. They did the study on preferred features when looking to buy an alarm clock. Technology allows for many features to be added to a basic alarm clock, but not every feature may have positive effects. The technology may overwhelm users, especially if technology is not easy to use or is not intuitive. For their first study, they put out a large survey on features of car safety issues, cell phone use, and various other topics, including a section on alarm clocks. This section asked about the importance of 15 features and used a Likert scale of 0 to 8 to measure which features were more important compared to others. The scale was 0 for not important at all, 2 for somewhat important, 4 for important, 6 for very important, 8 for extremely important. After the questions, participants were asked about the maximum price you would pay for an alarm clock. The average maximum price was $32.36, with a median price of $25. The table here shows the ratings for each feature that can be found on alarm clocks in this first study. Some notable things are that digital face alarm clocks were excessively favored over clock faces, and that the style of alarms are also very important. For their second study, they evaluated a larger set of features that could be potentially incorporated into future alarm clocks. They did this the same way as the first study, and the only difference was that instead of 15 features, they had 39 features to rate from. In this study, it was found that ease of use, meaning it being easy to set the time and an alarm, is the highest rated feature, followed by being able to easily verify that the alarm was set properly. Both of these features could be grouped together as ease of use, meaning that kind of the greatest feature of an alarm clock is ease of use. So what is to be taken away from this study? It was found that both studies showed consistent ratings for large and easy to find controls, individual hour and minute settings. Both showed that an AM/FM radio would be highly desired and that a digital display is highly desired. The categories for the highest scoring features would be ease of use, meaning the large and easy to find controls and the controls doing what you're expecting them to do, and the alarm function, meaning you can easily set the alarm and that you have various ways of setting an alarm. Either you could set it to the radio or you can use the default tone that it comes with. Nowadays, there are many alarms that are being developed with technology as a core component. With the main goal of an alarm clock to wake you up when it goes off, this tends to leave designers to do creative things. Clocky is one example of this being implemented. As you can see in this video, the alarm clocks were given the ability to move, so when they go off, you would not be able to hit the snooze button. And instead, you would have to get up and actually get the alarm clock in order to turn it off. So why has this development become more important? Everyone has an alarm clock in some way nowadays, whether it is an old-fashioned alarm clock or a modern radio clock or your phone, or you could even have the brand new creative technologies that are coming out nowadays. Everybody has to wake up on time and people have to find what's best for them. All these new ways that are able to set alarms allow for more creativity and personalization, which can even allow people to feel better about what they're choosing to do.